Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve code forces problem, swap adjacent elements. So before we look into this problem and solution, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for Java interviews and coding interviews. On my channel there are over 200 solved coding interview problems. Those are taken from coding interview questions asked by big tech companies such as Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Yahoo and many others, and those constitute important coding questions interviews such as dynamic programming, graph problems, binary search tree related coding questions, as well as BFS, DFS matrix questions, linked list and string related different coding questions are also covered there. So if you are preparing for any Java interviews or coding interviews, my channel can definitely help you in your Java J2E job interview preparation. So please subscribe to my channel. So let's look at the swap adjacent elements problem. You have an array A consisting of n integers. Each integer from 1 to n appears exactly once in this array. For some indices, it is possible to swap ith element with I plus 1th. For the indices, it is not possible. So basically ith element we can swap with the next element, right? I plus 1th element. You may perform any number of swapping operations any order. There is no limit on the number of times you can swap ith element with I plus 1th if the position is not forbidden. So they will tell us whether we can swap swap is allowed or not allowed, right? So that is the thing. Can you make this array sorted in ascending order performing some sequence of swapping operations? So they will give us, for example, they have given us how many number of elements are there in the array, 6 here in the input, and they will give us this input array, right? 1 2 5 3 4 6, and they have given us if 1 2 3 4 5, so they will give us 5 positions and they will tell us if that position we can swap it basically, right? So let us take this example. So if it is possible to sort the array in ascending order using any sequence of swaps, you are allowed to, then print yes, otherwise print no. So let's take this example on the whiteboard, so we can discuss it over here. So this is the example that's given to us, right? So basically 0 means that we cannot swap 1 with next element, right? That's what 0 means. If it is 1, then it means that we can swap. For example, 2, it's 1 for 2 basically, right? It's 1 here for this element 2, so it means that we can swap 2 and 5, means that element we can swap with next element, basically that's what it means. So after the swapping, can we sort this array? So now you can see that this array is not sorted, right? This array is not sorted. So now, for example, if we let's just write down here, so we can discuss how we can sort this. So 1 2 5 3 4 6, right? 3 4 6. So this is given to us. So now what we can do to sort this array is, for example, this we can go to this 5. So 5 is not sorted, right? Because 5 is less than 3. So 5 has 1 basically, which means that we can now swap it with next element. So what we will do is we will just keep 1 to here. We will swap this 5 with next element. So it will become 3 5 4 6, right? After swapping, correct? So now again we will look at this element. If you look at this element, you will see that this element is not sorted because 5 is less than 4. So if we go at this position, right, this is the position where 5 is located now. This is the position, right? So again it is swappable, basically swap is allowed, right? So again we will swap that position with the next element. So 1 2 3, right? And now 4 will come here and 5 will go here and then 6, right? And then 6. So this is a sorted array. As you can see, it is a sorted array, so we have to say yes. So let's look at the example that they gave us. So as you can see, we are getting yes here because we can sort this array, right, with this technique that we used here, right? So how we can implement this problem, basically how can we implement the solution? So what we can do is we can go through this array one by one, these elements, and we will check if the current element, like current number, is it like is it breaking the sorting order, right? So for example, one is already sorted, right? So we are not breaking sorting order. 2 is again sorted, right? 1 and 2, these two are already sorted. Now when we are at 1 to 5 is also sorted, right? So when we go to 3, basically we will keep track of the maximum number, right? Maximum number. So maximum number is, until this point maximum will be 5, right? So we have 5 maximum. So when we reach at 3, right? So at 3 now we are breaking the sorting, so it's not sorted now, right? Because we are seeing bigger element before the 3, right? 5 is bigger than 3 and we already are seeing it. So we will check, this is the maximum that we have seen so far, right? This is the maximum which we will have a count, right? This is the maximum. So we will check if the maximum, if it has a 1, right, means we can swap it, then we are okay, right? If we cannot swap it, for example if it is 0 here, then we will return no. In that case we cannot make the array sorted, basically, right? Because there is no swapping possible for that element which is largest element, right? Larger than this element. So if swapping is not possible, it means that we can never be able to sort the array. So if it is 1, it is okay. If it is 1, it is okay, right? 1 is okay. But 0 means we cannot sort it, basically. 0 means we cannot sort it. So let's take another negative example where we cannot sort, right? So this is that example. So as you can see, 1 is sorted. So we will take max as 1, right? So far we have seen max is 1. Now 5, 1 and 5 is also sorted, so now max become 5, right? After that 2, right? So 2 is smaller than the max that we have seen, right? Because we have seen max 5, now we are seeing a 2, so it's breaking the sorting, basically. So at that time we will check if this max element that we have seen, we will have the index of this element, we will see if it is swappable. So now in this case it is not swappable, right? It is 0. So it means that we can never be able to sort this array because we cannot move this element, right? This is a bigger element than 2. So we cannot move it forward and bring 2 backward, basically. So in this case we have to return no, right? So this is another example. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Java implementation. So we just have like created n is equal to 6, array is the one that is given to us, right? And then p is the string that is given to us, which is whether we can swap that ith character or not, right, with the I plus 1th character. So that string is given here as a p. Flag, we just created a boolean flag and created a max int value, right? And then we will go one by one here and we will keep incrementing the max, whatever max we are seeing, and we will keep checking if we are seeing a max which is greater than I plus 1, right? Means it is more than the I plus 1th element, and then the ith element is 0, which means that where max we are getting, the max is 0, so we cannot swap it, basically. In that case we will just make flag is true and break. In that case we cannot make the array sorted, so we will just print no here in that case. Otherwise we will just keep looping through all the elements of this array and keep checking if it is it is sortable or not, right, based on this condition. So we'll always keep getting max, and we'll keep checking if the max is, the next element of the max is more than max, and if the max is not swappable, right? 0 means it is not swappable. If that happens, then it means that we can never be able to sort the array, so we will just make a flag true and we will break it out. Otherwise we will just print yes, means the array, we can use the swapping operation to sort the array, basically, right? So let's just execute this code. So as you can see, it is giving us no. So no is basically this example. This is the example that we have seen, right? This is an example that we have seen. It is no because we cannot swap it. Now what we will do is we will just make this 5 element. Currently it is not swappable, right? So let us make it swappable now. It is 0 to 1, we will check it, right? So we just made 0 to 1, so make it swappable and re-executed it. So now you can see that we are getting yes, because now we can swap it and make this array in a sorted order after swapping, right? So this is the way we can solve Codeforces problem, swap adjacent elements. um, So one more time I'll just explain it to you. So basically what we did is we so let me just remove this all coloring so I can reuse this. So let's just summarize our approach once, and then so this is the input array given to us. We will create one max variable, right, and it will give us the max that we have seen so far. So and so we are at 1, right, so max become 1. Now we are at 2, max become 2, right. We are at 5, max become 5, right, and we are at 3, and always we will compare the max with the next element. So next element, if it is smaller, right, now next element is smaller, basically 3 is smaller than 5, then we will check if it is swappable or not, right. If it is swappable, we are okay. Because why it works, because now we can swap it basically, right. I can bring 3 here and 5 here basically, right, like that. Then I can bring 4 here, then 5 here, like that, right. Then I can basically sort it. Now if this element, if 5, for example 5 is uh, s- the max element 5, if it is greater than the next element, right, and it is not swappable, basically if it is 0 for example, then we cannot put this at this position, right. We cannot do it because it's not swappable, which means that we can never sort the array. In that case we will return no. So that is our approach to solve the problem. I will put Java code into my GitHub repository and give you the link. You can take a look at there. I already created a GitHub repository for my Codeforces solved solutions. So you will find a lot of Codeforces solutions there on my GitHub account. I will give you the link into the description. If you are new to my channel's goal is to help people in their Java J2E interviews and coding interviews. And I have over 200 solved coding problems on my channel, which are explained with Java code and examples. Those problems are taken from Codeforces as well as Lead Code and Lean Code. Those are interview questions asked by big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many other big tech companies. And those are selective problems, as they constitute important coding questions varieties such as binary tree, graph problems, dynamic programming problems, BFS, DFS matrix problems, as well as linked list and string related different coding questions. So this channel can definitely help you in your Java J2E interview preparation. If you like this video, if you find it helpful and enjoyable the way it's created with examples and explained with examples and Java code, please like it and subscribe to the channel. This channel can definitely help you in your Java J2 interview preparation. Your subscription is really important to us because that is the way the video can reach to more people who need help in their coding problems. They can also learn how to solve different varieties of coding problems and what data structures of Java to use to solve them. Please share this video with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching the video.